Oh, what the Oh! This is what I mean about deep holes and crevices all over the place. And let's even claimed a victim.
If they got weapons, yeah. They've all got guns and shit.
Have you ever felt the sheer panic of nature turning against you? From surviving a blinding Highland storm to a critical equipment failure in the unforgiving moorlands, this brutal camping encounter will make you question how many small mistakes before it's too late. On February 2nd, 2004, a man named Michael Lacoma was spending the weekend camping near Fresno, California. During that trip, he recorded footage on his cell phone that he says he still cannot explain. The video came from a documentary uploaded by Fierce Earth Productions. That documentary was posted roughly 15 years ago and collected over 200,000 views before the channel went completely inactive. Based on how the video was put together, it may have been a pilot for a series the producers were trying to get made.
Alright, here we are once again camping. Beautiful view. It's nice to get away, get some peace and quiet. You have to check out this hill up here. Great scenery. Get an idea of where I'm at. What shape up there? Oh my God. It's like a wolf, but holy crap. I don't think I should be up here. I think I should be getting...
In the footage, something can be seen moving on all fours, covering large distances in bounding strides down a hillside in his direction. The video quality is very low, but that was common for cell phone cameras in 2004. The documentary later interviewed Michael directly, where he described in detail what he witnessed that day.
Up here, kind of filming, so my girlfriend could see what's going on where I'm at. And I heard a little noise up the hill here, like an animal's running around. Look up here, these boulders. I seen something that looked like a wolf jumping in and out, but it was on 2 feet.
The documentary also raised a related point. Wolves had been wiped out across California by the early 1900s. With that established, it moved into a second segment involving 3 boys in Bakersfield, California. One of them, named Matthew, never returned home.
Matthew, putting on your shoe? What happened?
I found a shovel!
What are you guys doing? We have to go, come on! Austin, come on! Matthew, let's go! Matthew, let's go! No, we have to go!
I'm towing!
Alright, fine! It's all on you!
The film showed his parents learning of his disappearance, then followed up with interviews after his body was recovered. Some of the imagery from the scene was graphic. However, no news reports, public records, or online sources could be found confirming that a boy named Matthew Liam was killed by a wild animal in California in 2004. That absence raises serious doubts about whether the documentary was presenting real events or something staged for the camera. Many viewers in the comments still treated it as genuine. The creature in the footage doesn't match any animal currently known to live in that region. What do you think Michael actually captured on camera that day? This encounter comes from Joe and Elliot, 2 experienced explorers behind the YouTube channel Ghost Theory, a channel built around investigating some of the world's most haunted locations. On June 2nd, 2024, the 2 decided to spend the night inside one of the UK's most infamous abandoned mental asylums. The building had been empty for over 30 years, slowly decaying behind dense forest. It carried a dark reputation tied to deaths, unexplained incidents, and stories of something still lingering inside its crumbling halls. After pushing through the surrounding forest, they reached the structure. Crumbling walls, long dark corridors, and a heavy stillness greeted them the moment they arrived.
Hello everybody, so we have found our camping spot. So we've decided actually that due to the amount of dust and everything, we thought it'd be best to go somewhere where there's quite a lot of ventilation, and where better than outside. So basically, we are going to be camping on this lovely roof area.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Let's be honest, since from the last time, we're not going to do much sleeping, are we?
Concerned about the condition of the floors below, they chose the rooftop as the safest place to set up camp. Once settled, they moved inside to begin their investigation, walking darkened hallways and abandoned rooms, looking for anything unusual.
So the first plan is to investigate ourselves before we leave cameras in here, so then we know roughly, I guess, where we should be putting the cameras.
Now, you kind of want to find the areas that's going to cover like all rooms, corridors, and most open spaces.
But it's also finding the areas that have got the most going on. If we go somewhere and there's constantly activity or something there, you know, to leave a camera there. But we also haven't ever really had a good look around this building.
No.
So,
just soaking in the atmosphere. Hello? Is anybody here that can hear us?
oh, the lift shaft. Look at that, just completely open.
There's a horrible smell.
Shit, Jack.
Did you hear that?
No.
Okay, listen.
No.
Okay, listen.
That's people, isn't it? Hey, get back up. Yeah. Go. Through there. Where? Go. Where is it?
As they went deeper, faint footsteps began drifting through the corridors. They brushed it off at first, but shortly after, loud banging echoed through the halls. Objects sounded like they were being thrown. Heavy footsteps moved somewhere close, too deliberate to be the building settling.
For fuck's sake. People are paranormal. That was really weird though.
It was like it was people, but then just went.
But they're just throwing stuff around. They were like throwing things into the building and shit.
Are they out there?
I can't see them.
I can hear them. They were quite.
Because it's not like people have just like come in,
They're
have
not
a look
coming
around.
chatting and stuff either.
Yeah, there's just random things got thrown about.
Yeah.
From like multiple angles. What are the chances?
As soon as we call out as well.
Yeah, we
Joe and Elliot cut their lights and stayed completely still, listening in the dark. After several tense minutes, they pushed further in, hoping to locate whoever was sharing the asylum with them. What they found stopped them cold.
1 minute.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Did you catch them?
They were in army gear. There's two of them.
Have they got weapons?
Yeah. They've all got guns and shit.
Are they coloured guns?
No.
Proper like black.
They're proper rifles. Like they're stood like this. They're air rifles. They're fucking, they're rifles. Like a sniper. He's got a full fucking helmet on and everything. Two of them are sat down there where the entrance is. What do we do now?
If they got fucking rifles, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
And it's illegal.
They're in full fucking army gear.
And they're waiting for it to get dark.
Yeah.
Get down.
I don't know what they're doing. There's quite a few of them.
How many, roughly?
I've seen 4, and they all have guns. Well,
Outside the building, several individuals were visible, and at least one was carrying firearms. Elliot counted at least 4 people in total, all armed. In the UK, firearms are tightly restricted. These were not casual trespassers. Whoever these people were, they had illegal weapons and were operating somewhere with no cameras, no witnesses, and no quick police access. One wrong move could have turned fatal. Joe and Elliot quietly pulled back, dropped unnecessary gear, and repositioned higher in the building to observe without being exposed.
where the f are they gone? No idea. Fuck was that? What the fuck? It's like a fucking machine gun.
Listen though.
Hello?
Is that a voice?
Is that a fucking angle grinder?
We've just checked everywhere. Those people are gone.
And there's now an angle grinder.
But if there's someone here now, there's a voice, isn't it?
It's...
They made themselves visible, expecting some kind of reaction. Nothing came. The armed group seemed to vanish entirely. Joe and Elliot swept through corridors and empty rooms, called out into the darkness. No response. Then the sounds returned. Louder, closer.
Sounds like someone cutting a tree down outside.
What the fuck are they doing?
That's very fucking loud. I don't know what the fuck to do.
Is that outside?
What?
Is that outside?
Fuck this.
Banging, crashes, heavy footsteps, all building in intensity. The group was clearly still present but refused to show themselves, even as Joe and Elliot moved openly with lights on. That behavior felt less like avoidance and more like deliberate observation.
Shit. Have we got everything?
Not the tent.
Fuck the tent. People turn up with guns. Whatever guns, whether they're airsoft, air rifles, whatever, I have no idea.
But the thing is,
He heard his name, whatever, so whatever, have you got the ladder? So they brought fucking ladders in and everything.
how
I don't know.
did they get past?
There are multiple ways into that building.
Yeah.
We must have literally walked around the outside when they came in the other side.
They made their decision. Moving carefully toward the exit, they left gear behind, left the tent, and focused on getting out. As they cleared the building, flashlights were still visible in the upper floors. Someone was still inside, still moving. Even after escaping, neither of them fully shook the feeling of being watched. They made it out unharmed, but the questions didn't leave as easily. Abandoned places attract people who want to operate without being seen. Illegal weapons, deliberate concealment, and sustained presence inside that asylum suggested something organized and intentional. People with nothing to hide don't stay silent when 2 explorers are calling out to them in the dark. If you were in their position that night, would you have stayed or left the moment you saw those weapons? On May 6, 2026, Sam from Nomad Sam, a UK-based outdoor adventure channel covering solo wilderness trips across the Scottish Highlands, returned to a hill that had forced him to turn back once before. This time, he was determined to finish it. He started from a nearby village, and from the very first steps, it was clear there were no marked paths. The entire route would be off-trail.
That was pretty terrifying. I almost went up to my knee. in this mushy peat, super boggy. Honestly guys, if I took a few more steps there, I probably would have been waist deep. That was pretty scary. Yeah, I mean, that is just the only problem with going off the beaten track. You know, you never know what you're really walking into. That was not good. Hopefully that's the only sort of sinking mud pool that I find.
Early on, a large wire fence cut across the hillside with no obvious way through. His dog couldn't cross it. Sam worked along the perimeter until he found a small gap and pushed through.
Oh my God, it's an ambulance. What? That is an ancient ambulance. I thought that was a dead sheep then. Wait, is it? I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't fancy getting inside of there actually.
The detour cost time. Rain began moving in shortly after, and the pace had already slowed. Further up the hill, he passed an abandoned ambulance sitting alone in the landscape, deteriorated and offering no real shelter, but difficult to ignore given how far it sat from anything. The surrounding ground was uneven, with deep holes and hidden crevices scattered across the terrain.
I mean about deep holes and crevices all over the place. And look, it's even claimed a victim. There's a sheep skull in there. You know, if that was sort of covered up a little bit with the shrubbery, you could easily fall straight into there.
He pressed on toward the summit. As he neared the top, the weather shifted fast. Low clouds settled over the hill and visibility dropped to almost nothing. Wind and rain picked up, and the landscape around him lost all recognizable features.
Look at this, guys. I literally cannot see my way back. But yeah, I think as I descend, it'll get a lot better. So yeah, I'm just going to make my way back down. Really just goes to show how incredibly quickly the weather can change up here. You can really get caught out.
There was no clear view of the route ahead or the way back. At that point, reaching the summit was no longer the goal. GPS became the only reliable tool for navigation. Getting off the exposed terrain safely became the only priority. He made it down. The hill went unfinished, but recognizing when conditions outweigh the objective is what keeps a solo trip from becoming something much worse. Have you ever been caught in weather that forced you to turn back? This encounter comes from the YouTube channel Midwest Ghost Hunter, where Ian films his solo explorations of forests, abandoned locations, and paranormal investigation sites. On March 26, 2024, he headed out alone, first to a location known as the Red Bridge, then into a nearby forest with its own dark reputation. At the Red Bridge, the area was completely still when Ian arrived. He began recording and attempting to make contact with whatever was said to haunt the location. For a while, nothing happened. Then the atmosphere shifted.
What's up guys, Midwest Ghost Hunter here. In this video I'm going to be investigating two different locations. The first, known as the Red Bridge. It is said to be haunted by a woman who drove her car off of the bridge and was killed. If you park your car in the middle of the bridge. The second location I'm going to be investigating is called the Man Mound Park. It memorializes a giant Native American burial mound. The mound builders formed it in the likeness of a man with horns, and it is thought to represent a powerful Indian shaman or god. However, the construction of a road in 1905 destroyed the feet and the lower legs of the figure. It is thought that this desecration, unexplained mists and fogs have been seen floating through the trees. Ghostly figures have been seen appearing in the middle of the road. Visitors have also reported hearing high-pitched shrieking noises and having their cars failing to start when attempting to leave. There she is, the Red Bridge. I think this is actually my first haunted bridge video on this channel. I'm intrigued to see if this ghost lady will come out and talk to me. Hello, my name is Ian. Is there anybody out here with me? I hear that this Red Bridge is haunted. Could you show me if it's haunted?
The silence felt different, heavier. and then Ian heard it.
I got a weird feeling over here. I'm getting like a tingly feeling in my whole body. Whoa! I just heard a woman's voice. I couldn't tell what she said, but it sounded like it came from, like, under the bridge. Hello there. I heard you loud and clear. Are you underneath this bridge? I'm gonna try to get as far down here as I can. Hello? That's so weird. I wonder why she'd be down here. Oh my god. This is so freaking nuts. I'm literally hearing her voice echoing from down here. Ma'am, I hear you. Do you need help? Just like that. Complete silence.
A woman's voice, clear and close. He was alone. He checked beneath the bridge, searched the surrounding area, took photos. There was no one there. The voice came again anyway. He brought out a spirit box and continued.
Dude, I just seen like a figure over there. It literally looked like somebody walking over there. But there's nobody over there. Bridge. She just said bridge on here. Are you on the bridge right now? I'm gonna shut this down. Holy sh! That was loud. Oh God. There's nobody out here. I'm the only one here. I can hear you clanging around over there. Oh, what the f? Oh my God. Okay, I'm freaked out. I'm freaked out. My booster light is dying. I think I had enough of this place. Oh, what the f? Oh my God. Oh God. What the f was that? She literally splashed in the water. Yeah, that's it. I'm good. I'm good.
Shortly after, a loud metallic bang broke the silence. The woman's voice returned, and this time it sounded like the word help. Seconds later, a hard splash erupted in the water below. The voice, the bang, the splash. None of it felt accidental. It felt like a sequence. Ian left the bridge and moved on. The forest brought something different.
Just to make note, there is a farm right next to here. If you hear mooing or other animal sounds, that is where that's coming from. That was a bit different. What the hell was that? Okay, that came from over here. That sounds almost like whistling. I mean, it could be coming from the wind, but I don't know. It sounds strange. Hello? Is there someone over there? I'm gonna go towards it a little bit here. Oh my God. It's getting louder. Hello? That's a donkey. Didn't think I'd be communicating with one of those. That's so strange. What could that sound be? So if I hear those whistling sounds now, I'll know that that wasn't the wind. But as of now, I think it's kind of up in the air. Okay, I'm pretty sure I just heard voices.
Whistles began drifting through the trees. Faint at first, then clearer on the second pass. Low, shapeless mumbling followed, impossible to trace to any direction.
There's that whistling. I heard a whistle. Again. Okay, so I wasn't going crazy earlier. That just came from these woods. I'm gonna try whistling back, see what happens. Oh God, oh God. Yeah, I kind of knew better. I was warned against whistling in the woods. Oh, do I dare investigate it? Here goes. Oh gosh. I have a bad feeling about doing this. Hello? Oh my God, it literally sounds like somebody walking over there. I can literally hear him in the grass. Those were straight up footsteps over there.
The sounds didn't match wildlife or wind. Ian scanned the tree line repeatedly and found nothing. No figure, no movement. The footsteps he kept hearing seemed to follow him from just beyond where his light reached.
I just want you to know I would be angry too. You have every right to be angry. What the? Holy shit. Something just freaking ran right in front of me. Oh God, I nearly pissed myself. I kind of feel like I'm agitating the spirits right now. I don't think it's a good idea for me to stay much longer. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. That's like a high-pitched screech.
Then something crossed directly in front of him. A pale, misty shape, moving fast, low to the ground, captured on camera. At the same moment, a high-pitched scream cut through the trees from the opposite direction. The footsteps, the figure, the scream. Each came from a different point around him. Ian recognized what that pattern felt like and made the decision to leave. During the spirit box session, the word Wendigo came through. An entity from Algonquin tradition said to mimic sounds and lure people deeper into isolated areas. The voice at the bridge, the whistles, the footsteps in the forest, all of it followed the same pattern: sound, confusion, escalation. Ian left with footage but no answers. What do you think was actually out there with him that night? On December 16, 2025, the creator behind Off the Trail, a solo outdoor channel connected to Keeping It Dutch, covering stealth camping, van builds, and wildlife monitoring, was parked in a remote creek area in the United States as a severe cold front pushed through.
Right there. As soon as I come out here, they stopped barking. They were going absolutely crazy.
What started as a night of dealing with harsh weather soon took an unsettling turn. From inside the van, barking broke out along the tree line. It was loud, frantic, and didn't stop. He could tell immediately there was more than one dog. They stayed at the edge of visibility and held their position.
It's getting so cold and windy, I ain't gonna be able to, so we'll use that in a different time. Why'd you do that? Why'd you jump down? Them dogs are over here and they're big. Carl, get back over here, boy. Oh, Carl, you don't stand a chance out here, buddy. I'm gonna put the scuttle back. I didn't know it was gonna be so windy, even though I did know there was a front coming in. You can run around for a minute, but then we gotta get back in here, Carl.
As he moved around inside the van, the barking tracked him. Not random, not passing through. They knew exactly where he was.
So here's the first picture of some dogs that found the dog food. And a couple of them have collars. They found the dog food and they're just going absolutely crazy with it. And just stay tuned, because here in just a second, they're going to be, that one comes, right? You can see it come in, it's finding the feed. I don't know how it didn't just trigger right then. It finds that little can. I need to take them cans out of there, they're empty. And
trail camera footage captured one of the dogs approaching directly, no hesitation, staring straight into the lens before moving off.
Dinner is in the cage, but now they're still kind of looking around, eating whatever they can scrounge around. But right here is coming up that guy could be looking for in the truck, because Carl, don't go too far. Don't go too far, buddy. Man, the wind has picked up. It is cold. Yeah, Carl, it sounds like they're closer. You want back up there, don't you? That is a little taller. You should have jumped from there to there to there. Yeah, hold on, buddy. What you guys think? There you go. All right, you ready for some muffins? You ready to cook some muffins? I already gave you a bunch of steak. So it's currently 69 in here and like 20 outside. Go lay down over there. Make some muffins. Let's get this over here. Maybe we can get it hotter. Since I got the heater last time, I couldn't get it quite hot enough.
Several had collars. Their behavior didn't match wild or feral animals keeping their distance. It matched dogs that had been around people before. Later that night, the barking came back. The wind was carrying the sound, but the distance had closed. The dogs were still working the same area. When he tried to let Carl out, sharp barking erupted from just beyond the light. He brought Carl back inside immediately. The dogs never made direct contact, but they never left either. They stayed in that zone through the entire night. By morning, the cold front had moved on. The dogs had not. Animals that track movement, hold position, and return through the night are behaving with a kind of awareness that goes beyond wandering strays. If you were parked alone out there that night, would you have stayed until morning? On June 5th, 2023, the creator behind Daily Explores, a UK-based channel covering wild camping and micro-adventures across the British countryside, set out from Snake Pass in the Peak District National Park. The goal was specific: find 2 historic aircraft wreckage sites buried somewhere within the open moorland. The terrain pushed back immediately. Deep peat, uneven ground, and no solid footing made every step deliberate. Navigation demanded constant focus, and as they moved further into the heather, any trace of a defined path vanished completely.
Airwolf nearly took our heads off then, coming over the top of the hill. Did you ever watch Airwolf?
Airwolf?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
It's like Knight Rider, but with a helicopter.
Oh.
Look at that. Whew. It's a bit windy. Sorry for the wind noise.
You do Michael Jackson.
When visibility dropped at ground level and the second crash site proved difficult to locate, they adjusted. Rather than continuing blind through terrain with no reliable markers.
Where's this second crash site? I think this is Blenheim something or other. Go and check out Gaz's video and he'll tell you all about it. So it turns out this is just part of it, and there's a little sign saying the main wreckage is up this way, so let's go and have a look.
They sent a drone up to scan from above. It was a practical decision given what the ground was offering. Camp was set up near a trig point. Not long after, a group of sheep drifted closer to the tents, not aggressive, but clearly aware of the camp. Out on open moorland with no natural cover.
I don't snore. Moving about and that up back. Must have been them sheep. Guess who sent his drone off this morning that decided to land somewhere because of a critical battery? It's just heading down the side of the hill to go and try and find it. It's got its location marked on his app, so he should be able to head to that and pick it up.
The exposure was hard to ignore. The next morning brought a new problem. A drone battery failed mid-flight. With poor visibility and few reference points in any direction, getting it back meant tracking it through rough terrain using GPS. A routine equipment issue turned into a real recovery effort in an environment that doesn't forgive small mistakes easily. Nothing that happened across that day and night was sudden. The difficulty built quietly. In the terrain, the navigation, the exposed position, the equipment failure. Each one manageable on its own, but together they added up. In remote moorland like that, how many small problems does it take before one of them becomes serious? That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.